So I was watching some videos on my channel. So a few years ago, probably about 2 years ago, I think, I said my goal was to record a full-length record, and I still haven't done that yet. I've actually made a lot of progress the past few weeks. I've got drum tracks done, completed for 12 or 13 songs now. Well, I mean, mostly completed. I'm gonna sweeten and tweak a few things, but pretty much the skeleton is mostly there. So I think that's a great starting point. That's always been my biggest procrastination, is doing drums, percussions, because it's so time consuming to do it the way I do it. I don't have an actual drum set, so the sequence electronic drums is just ridiculously time consuming. But I finally been doing that the past few weeks, so I've got 12 or 13 tracks done. I can't remember the exact line. So now I'm in this weird kind of in-between stage, because, you know, I have performance synthesizers, but I'd like to get a MIDI or USB synthesizer. So I'm actually selling some stuff and putting money away and that kind of thing, so I can get a Moog Sub Fatty. It retails about $800, give or take. So yeah, I've got a ways to go. But we'll see how that comes in as far as that goes. Once I get that, I should be able to go on and complete the songs. I need that, and I also need a microphone because I don't have an actual good like condenser mic or something like that, like all the other YouTube people have. How I record my videos, my microphone is my phone, actually. So, and it works. It sounds okay, but I know it could be better. It could be a lot better, but it sounds better than if I was just strictly going on the microphone of the camera. So the phone microphone versus the camera microphone, the phone microphone sounds much better. And it even improves it slightly if I use the headphones with the little microphone, but to me it's just a big headache to have all these wires and all that stuff, so whatever. But at any rate, so I was going through some much older videos, because there was a few videos that I had in 2008 where I was recording just basically like the loose, very loose structure of recording one song. So I just wanted to revisit that to see if how much things have gotten easier in the past 10 years versus in 2008. And it was really a hoot to watch. But what's even more interesting with that particular thing was I started watching a lot of my older videos. For those of you who don't know, my channel has been up since spring of 2006. My very first upload was in March of 2006, but my very first public video is showing April of 2006. So I was on YouTube at the very start. So me and my wife, we got married in 2007. And at that same time, roughly the end of 2007, the beginning of 2008, most notably May of 2008, when the stock market had its crash, the economy was pretty crappy. We got married at a really interesting time in the United States, politically speaking, social economically speaking. The economy was garbage. Nobody could get any jobs. I had a job. It was a decent job, but things didn't work out with that. So basically, right after we get married, pretty much we were both working at Sonic. For those of you who don't know, it's basically a fast food joint. That was pretty much what paid the bills. That was really the only job that we could get, which is really weird. I had a college degree. She had college education. Neither one of us had children, so it wasn't like scheduling was any problem, but it's just, that was just the reality of the economy at that point. And that got us through the first half year we were married was we were both working at Sonic. I got a job at a warehouse, doing warehouse work, third shift, working overnight. So I was doing, boxing and that kind of thing. It didn't really pay all that good at all. I think it was like $8 an hour, I think. And at Sonic I was making $7.50. So it was just barely more than what I was making at Sonic, but the hours were longer and the shifts were longer, and so the paychecks ended up being better. At any rate, she was still working at Sonic. She couldn't find anything of any substantial, work. There was an anime convention here called Tokyo in Tulsa. It was the very first one, July 2008. Her family came down to go to that. They all cosplayed and that kind of thing to go to that. And once that was done, she had a talk with them, and they decided that she would go back with them for a few months because they were really good friends with these two other people in their town. They owned and ran a Halloween store, and they were saying, yeah, if she comes out, we'll have her working full time. We'll, pay her, I think it was like $8 something an hour. Basically, we agreed, okay, for the next, 12 weeks, you could go out there, work, and basically that'll at least help us get a little bit ahead, pay off some debts, pay off some credit card nonsense, and then maybe once you come back, we'll be in a better financial position, and then we can, go from there. So that came down in July. They went to the convention, and then she went back to Tennessee with them. And she was there until, it was after Halloween. So it was all of August, all of September, all of October. And I went the first week of November to pick her up. And I also helped take the store down. They paid me under the table for like a day's worth of work. So, it wasn't any big deal, but I thought that was kind of interesting. I would occasionally make or upload a video during that time period, and there would be people asking, what happened to your wife? Where's your wife? Blah, 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 thinking that we split up or something. So it was kind of interesting. It was kind of a lonely time looking back on it because, I'm just basically here in this apartment all by myself, trying to find ways to entertain myself while she's gone. But then I decided, I'm going to start making a record. I think I made it one song and then got burnt out by the process because I was going song by song. Completion. I figured I would complete an entire song, then I'd complete an entire song and then go on. I decided this time that I would do like they do in the studio, to where you do instrument by instrument. So I've done all the drums, and then next I'm going to do all the bass and then go on and go from there. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if that works out any better. But no, I just thought it was kind of interesting watching some of these older videos from 2008. What's kind of a bummer, though, is some of the videos are missing because of copyright claims. I took them down. There was this one video I posted talking about AC/DC Black Ice, which is a fantastic record. I think it's probably my second favorite record of theirs. It's just front to back, just a great record. So another fun thing about that time, other than making videos while she was gone, I was doing a crapload of piracy. In 2007, 2008, 2009, it wasn't until 2010, in February or March of 2010, that we got internet. So the first 3 years, 7, 8, 9 of our marriage, we were just sponging off other people's Wi-Fi. We lived in an apartment complex. I went and got the best Wi-Fi antenna I could find at Walmart, that had the strongest range. And basically I just, and I got a USB extension cable. And so I would just walk all over the apartment until I could find a good spot that was picking up other people's signals and set it up. And then I would just download all kinds of stuff that I try to go for more obscure stuff. So I'll show off some of the things that I grabbed during that time. Let's see. This is probably one of my favorites is Listen Up, which is a sitcom series that Jason Alexander, George Costanza from Seinfeld, he did in 2004, 2005. It's a really good sitcom. Like, I was watching a few episodes last night, and I was just cracking up laughing. Basically, he's a a sports, not a sportscaster, but he's a commentator on a sports commentary show. Him and then the guy who played Theo Huxtable from the Bill Cosby Show. So both of them are sports commentators, and then he's a father and a husband, Jason Alexander's character. So I just thought it was a really cool dynamic. Also went and downloaded the entire series of Big Wolf on Campus. Some of you may remember that, some of you may not. It was a series that ran, I think, from 98 to 2003, I think. Also downloaded the entire series of The Michael Richards Show. That was in 2000 or 2001, I can't remember. I think it was only like 6 or 7 episodes, and then NBC cut it. It just wasn't performing. What other good things did I get? I mean, this is more whatever. As it was airing, well, this is a little bit newer, but as it was airing, I was downloading all the Jersey Shores. And this was before they made the DVDs. The Pauly D project, yeah. But let's see. Oh, I got the entire series of Are You Afraid of the Dark? I don't know if they ever released that in full on DVD or not. I don't know. I went and downloaded Jim in a Hologram Season 3. They never released this on DVD until a few years ago. I had bought Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3.1 on DVD, but they never released Season 3.2. They just cut it off. And so I had to download the episodes to get it myself. I've downloaded the absolute entire series of You Can't Do That on Television, even though Season 1 says it's incomplete. It's not all episodes. So it's... yeah, it looks like 10 seasons. Wow. Some of those are VHS rips that I had to go find on the internet. Downloaded several seasons of Eek the Cat. I don't know if some of you guys remember that or not. It was my favorite cartoon on Fox Saturday morning. Let's see. I got 5 seasons of Eek the Cat. Holy cow. Let's see. Any other good things? I downloaded Andy Richter Controls the Universe. Andy Barker P.I., which I think was also another show that he did. I think. I don't even remember what that is now. I think it was another Andy Richter show. Maybe. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Just thinking about it, just kind of, nostalgic. I had to make that 14-hour, 15-hour trip all by myself to go pick her up. There was some good music, some good jams. There was AC/DC Black Ice had just come out, so I was listening to that. I was listening to Starflyer 59's Dial M, which is a fantastic record. I highly recommend, look that up on Spotify. It's absolutely fantastic. I downloaded all the soundtracks to Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and so I was listening to all those soundtracks for that trip as well. Trying to think if there was anything else. I think that's basically the really standout records I was really getting into. But yeah, I made some road trip videos about that. Most notably, there's a White Castle in Nashville, and every single time we go visit her family, we always stop at the White Castle in Nashville. So I made a video basically spoofing Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Not really, but I just thought it would be funny to make a video about going to White Castle, but the funny thing was I wasn't going just to White Castle. I was going to Tennessee, and I just happened to be passing by it. But I thought there would be a funny video to make it sound like I'm driving 8 hours just to go to a White Castle, which it really wasn't. When she came back, I actually convinced her to get a job at the warehouse with me as well. We only had one car, so it really was beneficial for us to both work together. And we're pretty cool, so... I've worked with husbands and wives, and it's like, as soon as they walk in, you can definitely tell there's a drop in pressure in the building, you know. But we're pretty cool together, so it wasn't anything like that, and we work well together, so it just worked out. So I had her get a job with me at the warehouse, and we worked at that warehouse from, when I came back together, that was November, so it was November 2008 to the spring of 2009. I had gotten a job at that point at a factory here that makes buses. One of those companies that makes school buses. There's a factory here in Tulsa that makes school buses. It's huge complex. And, they make everything from scratch. It's a full-on assembly line. And I just thought it'd be interesting to work at a place, work at an assembly line. I just thought it would be really interesting. At one end of the building, they start out with basically tires and nuts and bolts. And at the other end of the building, they're driving the buses out. And I think it took like 3 hours, to build a bus from start to end. It was really incredible to go in and see it. And so I just thought that'd be kind of interesting to work there. So it was the spring of 2009. I got a job there. I think I lasted about a week. And then they told me to take a hike. Okay, so the first day they put me on driving rivets into the inner wall panel, which I did great at. I thought, I had a rivet gun. I'm just driving rivets into the wall panels. And then they're like, okay, so he's doing pretty good on that. The second day I did the same thing. The third day they sent me up the line and they wanted me to put rivets in the ceiling. Now the problem is for those of you who haven't met me, I'm about 5'9", 5'10". I'm not the tallest person in the world. And so it's like the absolute, extent of my reach to reach the ceiling with this, 15, 20 pound rivet gun. I couldn't I could barely reach the ceiling. I'm on my tiptoes trying to reach the ceiling to drive these rivets into the ceiling. And the entire time it's an assembly line, so the bus is moving the entire time. And each person had to do, I think it was 4 rows of rivets. I think there was 16 total. And so there was 4 people, and each person had to do 4 rows. And so there was probably 25 rivets to row. Anyway, I did that for a day, and people kept on having to, it was a disaster. I don't understand why they put me on that particular station. After they could see that I'm like sitting on my tiptoes, I can't reach it, and it was just a disaster. After the 3rd day or 4th day, I can't remember, the foreman came up and basically said, he appreciated the opportunity, but it just wasn't working out. So I'm like, well, whatever, it wasn't working out for me either. So I went home and whatever. I went back to the warehouse, working with the wife and that kind of thing. And then it was that fall. Things were still kind of crappy, fall of 2009 at that point. And so she's like, well, I'll just do the Halloween store thing again. So she goes back to Tennessee to do the Halloween store thing again. And I just stayed by myself again, making ridiculous videos and that kind of thing, entertaining the cat, going to shows, whatever. And then I decided to do another White Castle video since I was going back to pick her up again. A lot of people don't understand the struggle that comes with marriage, and sometimes there are struggles, sometimes there are sacrifices you have to make. We're not immune to that. We definitely made the sacrifice to spend 3-4 months apart the first or 3-4 months apart each year the first 2 years of our marriage. We didn't even celebrate our first anniversary together. Our first anniversary, she was in Tennessee. Our second anniversary, she was in Tennessee. So our first and second anniversary, we didn't even spend together. Some people in general, I don't think they would be able to do that kind of sacrifice. It's just, I don't know, I think it's just kind of interesting the things that we've endured, and we still keep on trucking and keep on going on. I feel like we're stronger because of the sacrifices we did make. I guess to give a happy ending, pretty much when she came back from Tennessee the second time, while she was gone in Tennessee the second time, I got an interview at a call center, and I got hired at a call center to work, to just do orders, and I was making like $9.50 an hour, 40 hours a week. I got insurance, benefits, vacation time, which that was the very first job since we got married. I was making insurance, benefits, and vacation time. So I thought that was pretty cool. When she came back from Tennessee, I also got her on at that job as well. And so we were both making, $9.50 an hour, 40 hours a week, insurance, benefits, vacation. That was probably working at that job that year and a half. When we were working both that job together, that was probably one of the best years of our marriage. At that point, thinking about it, because we had a lot of disposable income, a lot. So we were just blowing money left and right on just nonsense. She was going to the salon a lot, getting her hair done, and stuff like that's really expensive to do, like what she was doing. So I thought that was kind of interesting. We were buying a lot of just frivolous clothes. I mean, we were blowing money left and right on just our appearance, to be honest. But, whatever. But I don't have much else to say, so I just wanted to do a quick vlog about the nostalgia, old times, and that kind of thing. So thanks for watching, and peace out.